Brother.
Guys, Islam Makhachev looks swole, guys. JDM's cooked, guys. He's cooked. Yeah, if I was a homosexual, that's how I would talk. But anyway, so JDM, Islam Makhachev, tremendous fight. But before we get to that, we have an entire card to break down and predict. So stay tuned, obviously, for JDM Makhachev and the other big fights. But we do have some prelims. We do have some early prelims, starting with Susurkaev versus Eric Moicano. Look, Susurkaev, I don't really rate him very highly. I think he's, I don't know. I think he's good, but I do think he's kind of been brought in a bit too early. I don't know. Even in his Contender Series fight, like, I know he got a finish, but, like, he didn't do anything super impressive there. I know he got a TKO, like a body shot TKO, but come on, bro. And then, I mean, against, like, who was his last guy that he almost got finished by? I don't even remember his name, but, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't even remember the guy that almost finished him in his last fight. Badly, too. Like, he kind of got saved by the bell. But I don't think Moicano is going to finish him or anything like that. I think Moicano's probably just going to get, let's just say, late round 2, rear naked choke. If you want in-depth breakdown, just become a member. Then I'll give you, if you actually become a member, I do like 3-hour-long predictions for each fight. So, just become a member down below. Angela Hill versus Fatima Kline. Why isn't this opening the card, man? This is the real banger that we've been waiting for, right? So Fatima Kline versus Angela Hill. What are we thinking, boys? What are we thinking? Should I flip the coin? Nah, I'm just gonna go Fatima Kline. Why not? I'll say Fatima Kline via a decision. Whoa. Pat Sabatini, Chepe, Mariscal. I mean, Pat Sabatini is all right. He is coming off of, I believe, 2 wins. Obviously, in the past, he lost to, like, Diego Lopez. But look, Chepe Mariscal, I don't even understand why he's facing somebody like Pat Sabatini, because Chepe is on, like, a 4 or 5 fight winning streak. He's very underrated, but also, he's underrated, but he's also not, like, amazing. Like, I don't look at him and think, ooh, this guy could be a future champion. But he's good. Like, he is pretty good. I think he's going to beat Pat Sabatini. He's got good wrestling. He's got good striking. He's finished some good guys like Jack Jenkins, I believe. And who's that guy with the bad hairline? Is it Damon Jackson or something? I don't know. But I'm going to say Chepe Mariscal via a, I'll say like a round 2. I'll say like a round 2 TKO, ground and pound. There you go. Kyle Daukaus, GM3. Look, first of all, I love Chris Daukaus, the brother of Kyle Daukaus. If you guys know the Chris Daukaus, man, what a legend. The Chris Daukaus lore. Chris Daukaus, can you do something for me? If you know, you know, right? But his brother Kyle Daukaus is actually pretty solid. GM3, I love GM3. I try not to bet against GM3. And I don't know, this time, though, I might have to, man. Kyle Daukaus is pretty solid. I think, who did he KO? Like, Michel Pereira or something? Yeah, it was Michel Pereira. And then, obviously, he's been away for a few years, but that was relatively impressive. I don't know. I mean, GM3, he's one of these guys that, like, I could so see GM3, like, fluking a submission in, like, round 3, in the GM3 sort of fashion. I'll just pick Kyle Daukaus first round KO. It's a safe pick, right? Malcom Wellmaker versus Cody Haddon. So he ain't going to make nobody well in this fight, because I'm picking, actually, I don't know. Wait, I don't even know, actually, because now that I'm looking at this fight, wait a minute. Hold on. I got a little bit of stage fright here. Wait, because, okay, Cody Haddon, he's only coming off of 1 win, Arqueta, right? Or Argueta. But, like, this guy's pretty good, man. He's 8-1, 5 via KO, 4 first-round finishes, a few submissions. He's fucking Australian, mate. He's good. He's real solid. I'm going to trust Malcom Wellmaker. I'm going to trust that Malcom Wellmaker is good. I'm going to trust that he's solid. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, man. Cody Haddon's a pretty well-rounded fighter, man. I mean, I was going to say I'm going to trust that he's solid on the ground, he's solid on the feet. And I'm just going to say Malcom Wellmaker, first round KO. Fuck it. No, you know what? Actually, no. Let's be for real. I'm going to say Malcom Wellmaker via decision. I think it's going to be a close, hard-fought decision. I could even see a bit of a, they robbed Cody Haddon type decision. I could kind of see that. I could see Cody Haddon having a lot of moments. Maybe, he's going to have moments where he uses a bit of wrestling, maybe holds Wellmaker against the fence, kind of just tries to pressure Wellmaker first before Wellmaker gets going. But I do think Wellmaker is going to catch him with some good shots. Haddon does have a chin, but obviously I think Wellmaker has that like crazy kind of power, that almost that Alex Pereira level power where he's just sleeping guys with just that one touch, right? I'm glazing him like crazy. But I do think Malcolm Wellmaker is going to win a competitive close decision. I think it's going to be hard fought. I think Haddon is going to give him some problems on the feet. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. But I also think Wellmaker is very, very good, of course, and I think he's going to win a close decision. Erin Blanchfield, Tracy Cortez. This is not, unless you're a gooner, this is like, if you're a gooner, this is fight of the night. If you're not a gooner, then this is just any other fight, right? So good thing we're gooners. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, Erin Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. So obviously, the way that Tracy Cortez has been promoting herself has just been, feet content with Nina Drama. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to your Instagram feed, but that's what's going on with Tracy Cortez, and that's how they're promoting Tracy Cortez. So, gooner bait, basically. But anyways, Erin Blanchfield, Tracy Cortez. I mean, it's tough because I don't really rate Erin Blanchfield that highly, nor do I rate Tracy Cortez highly at all. No offense. Like, these women are, like, in the top 10, but they're just not really, like, good. Cortez is coming off of a Viviane Araújo win. I gotta say that was a pretty solid performance. And she did beat Jasmine Jasudavicius, which in my opinion is also pretty impressive. Those are two really solid wins that are, that have happened in the last few years. Obviously she lost to, what's her name? Thug Rose, eh? But I mean, Thug Rose is a fucking legend, man. Anyone would lose to her. But no, Erin Blanchfield, she also lost to Thug. No, Erin Blanchfield beat Thug Rose. Oh shit. What the fuck are we doing here? I'm gonna pick Tracy Cortez via a robbery decision. Who knows? It's gonna be one of those where it's gonna be like, dude, the UFC, they gave it to Tracy Cortez. Honestly, can you guys just not see that? Because let's be honest, Blanchfield is not finishing Cortez. She's not KOing her. She's not submitting her. She's not gonna ground and pound TKO her. And then Cortez is not going to finish her or TKO her or knock her out on the feet. And it's probably just going to be a close competitive WMMA type fight. And if that's the case, they're just going to give it to Cortez and we're just going to call it a day. So that's my prediction. And yeah, Roman the Cop Kopylov versus the RoboCop himself, Gregory Rodriguez. Ooh, I really love this fight. I really, really, really love this fight. I think most of us love this fight. With that being said, though, I mean, I think it's a little bit clear cut who's going to win, guys. Roman Kopylov, first round KO, kid. Nah, the spirit of Lucas Tracy got me there. We miss you, Lucas. We miss you. Rest in peace, man. But anyways, Gregory Rodriguez, I'm going to pick him to win this one. Yeah. Kopylov, I really did not like the way Kopylov looked against Paulo Costa. And Rodriguez, even when he's like, even the fights where he like loses, he looks kind of good. Even against Cannonier, like he really could have finished Cannonier. I think twice almost he had Cannonier like out of there, bro. And it's like, I know he got KO'd in that same fight, but like he makes it tricky even when he loses. And I can't see Kopylov just piecing up Gregory Rodriguez and just not eating some nasty shots. And I think if he eats some nasty shots, I could see him just getting KO'd. Like it just wouldn't shock me. He's very hittable. His style it kind of allows for him to be hittable. And same with RoboCop, but I mean, I don't know, man. RoboCop is just a different animal, and I think he's going to KO Roman Kopylov in the first round. I think it's going to be a good little scrap, though. I think Kopylov will land some little shots, and it'll be like, ooh, and then I think Rodriguez is going to crack him with like a left hook, and then probably just put him out like that, like just out cold. So yeah, anyways. Bo Knuckle. Hey, Bo Knuckle. I don't get... As of now, this seemingly is the main event of the prelims. Why? I don't... Like, even... Remember when they put him on the main card? I knew that they were going to take him off. I knew that they were just... I honestly think the UFC does stuff like that to just garner attention. And we all fall for it, but, like, I feel like they do that just to, like, garner attention. Like, oh, this is going to piss people off. And... Because obviously, Bo was never going to be on the main card. But, I mean, look, I'm going to pick Bo Nickal. Am I the... Again, why is this the main event of the prelims? It should be like RoboCop or even Tracy Cortez. But anyways, Bo Nickal. Vieira's like solid, you know. He is. Let's go through the kid's resume. Trayshawn Gore lost to Petrosky, beat Petrosian first round sub. He's got a few subs on his record. He obviously has really good jiu-jitsu. And I'm just like, dude, is Bo Nickal... Okay, if Bo Nickal, let's say, is deterred from going to the ground because of Rodolfo's jiu-jitsu, is Bo Nickal striking good enough to hang with Rodolfo Vieira? And it's not like Rodolfo Vieira is a good striker, a great striker, an amazing striker. But the thing is, dude, Rodolfo Vieira is just, he's tough, bro. As goofy as it's going to sound, this might just come down to toughness and just gritty veteranness. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, all right, Rodolfo Vieira. Again, this sounds stupid, I know, but like, just hear me out. Rodolfo Vieira has been in a couple of wars. He's been finished. He's been rocked. He's been this. He's been that. He's been cut. You know what I mean? Whereas Bo Nickal, this is all new to him. You saw how he acted when he got finished by RDR, which that did not age well, by the way. I'm going to pick, you know what? Bo Nickal is a safe pick. I'm going to pick Rodolfo Vieira via a... You know what? Am I gonna do it to Bo? Am I gonna really do it to my boy Bo, man? Freaking the dingleberries or whatever the fuck he likes to pick. Yeah, we got the dingleberries and the... No, I'm gonna pick Rodolfo Vieira via a second or third round. I'm gonna say second or third round, like rear naked choke maybe, or like a triangle, some kind of a submission, maybe off his back, or like maybe he's the one that initiates the takedown and then gets the sub, gets the back of Bo Nickal, gets the rear naked choke. I could see that as well. I don't know, bro. I like Bo Nickal, but it's like, how much adjustments can he make in the short amount of time? I know, like, he only fought, like, he fought this year. It's not been that long, but it's also not been that short of time. So it's sort of like, I don't know, though. Can he really make the adjustments that I think he needs to make? I mean, again, on the feet, I just feel like if it gets tough, if it gets scrappy, Rodolfo's winning that, bro. He's winning. If it gets scrappy, Rodolfo's going to win those exchanges. And again, I do think Bo Nickal might be deterred from going to the ground because of Rodolfo's jiu-jitsu. So I'm going to say Rodolfo Vieira via a second round or third round. I'll say a second round rear naked choke. So yeah, that's my pick. Beneil Dariush, Benoit Saint-Denis. My boys, man, this card is phenomenal. But this main card, like from here on out, like the prelims are great too. This main card is Jenna fucking rational, bro. But anyways, Benoit Saint-Denis versus Benny Dariush. The Bennies versus the Benny versus the Benny, not the Bennies versus the Bennies versus the Pennies. Like it's Ariel versus Pennies. Wait, if you guys understand that joke, you guys are Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Ariel versus Pennies doesn't make sense, though, because wouldn't he... Anyways, Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Ooh, this one's really tough. Why am I acting like this is a hard pick? Benoit Saint-Denis, what am I doing? I'm like taking a deep breath. I'm like thinking of the fight in my head. Get the fuck out of here. Benoit Saint-Denis, guys. Look, I do love Beneil Dariush. I am like one of the 5 Beneil Dariush fans. I'm also a Benoit Saint-Denis fan. I am not, I don't hide that, all right? I'm very proudly a Benoit Saint-Denis fan. I don't care. I just love the guy. With that being said, I do think he's going to beat my boy Benny. I do think he's going to beat Beneil Dariush. I do think he's going to KO him in the first, maybe. Honestly, maybe that's a crazy pick, but I could really just see Benoit Saint-Denis not respecting Beneil Dariush striking at all. And I think if it gets to the ground, I mean, like, is Benoit going to be like is he going to be a fish out of water? I know you could say, well, Mcconico, he was kind of like, you know, out-grappled by Dariush, and you could argue Mcconico has better jiu-jitsu than Benoit Saint-Denis, sure. But, I mean, I don't know. I could see Benoit just, like, I could see him just putting the gas on so fast and just letting this fight. I could just, you know, just Benoit Saint-Denis first-round KO, honestly. I don't think he's going to let this fight, you know, the momentum shift to Beneil, or it's going to be... No, I just think he's going to go right at him, bro. It's not going to look like that old man Mcconico-Dariush fight that we just saw a few months ago. It's going to be like Beneil Dariush borderline almost runs at him. Head kick this, right hand. Maybe Dariush goes for a takedown. Benoit stuffs it. You know, he has him against the fence. some shots at a body, some shots upstairs, maybe another head kick or something, or like a knee. And then I could see Dariush just kind of crumbling, and then I could see a Benoit Saint-Denis early first round TKO against the cage. I don't think it's going to be like super quick the way I'm kind of describing it, where he just runs out of KOs him, but like I think it's going to be relatively sort of fast, and I think Benoit's a risky fighter, man. If you guys, bro, he didn't give a shit about roofie striking. And he ate knees, flying knees from Mauricio Rufy and shit, and like right hands and shit. Like he doesn't care. Like if you think he wasn't scared of Rufy striking, do you think he's really gonna be scared of Beneil Dariush striking? Again, I know Dariush has like a KO over like Jakar Close, but come on. Anyways, Benoit Saint-Denis, yeah. Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. Whoa, this is a crazy fight, man. Now this is another tremendous fight, honestly. This is actually kind of tricky. I do love they've put a bunch of welterweight fights here, by the way. I think that's really smart, obviously, for obvious reasons. Shit, man. I'm going to pick Prates. I know a lot of people are kind of starting to lean towards Leon now and saying, you know what, Leon's getting kind of overlooked, but I'm sorry. I don't rate Leon Edwards. I never will. I never have, even in the past. I don't think he's particularly great, and I think you're going to kind of see him get mogged in the striking by Carlos Prates. I think he's got good kicks. I could see it being a bit of a rangy kind of kickboxing type fight, but I think Prates is going to kind of land on him a little bit. I'm not going to... It's a 3-rounder. Is it going to leave the first? This is where it gets tricky. Is it going to leave the first? Am I really going to go crazy and say Carlos Prates first round KO? That's a bit disrespectful to the boy Leon, man, but I don't fucking know, bruv. I don't know, man. The problem is, man, I feel like Leon Edwards is just so... He takes so long to really get into a fight sometimes. And Prates, that's just not his style. Prates is in it right away, bro. Like, Prates is right away, just like in your face. He's right away just throwing knees here, kicks here, high kicks here, left hooks here. He doesn't care. You know, that's kind of how he fights. And I feel like I can't really see Leon Edwards I can't see him really throwing something at Prates to deter him and to make him back up and just be like, dude, just... And so I think Prates is kind of just going to go at him, not really respect his striking. Could Leon mix in the wrestling? Sure, like, of course he could. But I mean, I don't know, dude. Leon's a dumb man. I don't know. Like, it's Leon, and it's just like, I mean, he tried to wrestle with Sean Brady, and he got like immediately stuffed and 10-8'd. It's just like, he doesn't make the smartest decisions. He's not the smartest fighter. He's not the smartest guy. I don't know about him as a person, but like as a fighter, he just makes a lot of dumb IQ moves. And I don't know. People are saying he could wrestle him, but I could see Leon not wrestling him and just getting KO'd. So you know what? I'm gonna say a first round KO for Carlos Prates. Now, what exactly is he gonna KO him with? Like, is he gonna pull out a Glock or a hammer? No, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I can't see another spinning elbow. I'm going to say like a left hook like rocks Leon Edwards, and then I'm going to say Prates tees off on him against the cage and a knee up the middle or something, cracks Leon bad, and I think he's going to go out. I think he's going to go out against the cage. I think I could see it being kind of like the, was it the Li Jinliang one where he kind of killed him against the fence? Yeah, it was that one, right? I think it's going to be similar to that one where it's just like a KO of that magnitude. Again, I know this is a very disrespectful prediction for you Leon fans. I know you guys are like, what the fuck, bruv? Like, Leon's going to get it done, bruv. But no, he's just not. And I think he's going to get killed pretty early on. Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. I love this fight as well because I am a big Sean Brady fan. Again, I'm one of like the 5 Sean Brady fans. But Morales, I mean, this fight does worry me because I'm biased. I am rooting for Sean Brady. And I am picking Sean Brady. But this fight does worry me because I do think Michael Morales is very athletic. He does have great striking. He does have very good striking, great power. I wouldn't say he has great striking. Like, I would still rate, like, Prates' striking over Michael Morales' striking, for example. Or, like, of course, Jack's striking or some of these other, even like Ian Gary. But he does have very good striking. But I just feel like this is a little bit too much. I'm sorry. But, like, I don't want to play the whole like resume game here, but I am. I don't want to, but I am. I mean, Gilbert Burns, Neil Magny, Jake Matthews, Max Griffin. You know what I mean? It's just like I understand some guys do rise to the occasion when they get the jump ups, but it's Sean Brady, bro. It's not like you're getting like Usman, maybe. Even Usman would beat him, I think. But like, it's Sean Brady. I rate Sean Brady very highly. I think he's got like maybe the best jiu-jitsu in the sport right now, behind probably Islam Makhachev. So it's like, dude, I think Sean Brady's gonna. I don't think he'll submit him though. I think Michael Morales is strong enough and good enough to not just get submitted or just held down for like, or just 10-8'd completely. I think he'll have moments. I think he'll get back to the feed and then he'll maybe have some striking moments. But I do think Sean Brady is gonna. Even Sean Brady's striking is not that bad either, though. I mean, he kind of has a little bit of a Bilal Muhammad thing where he kind of like gets in the pocket, lands a sneaky little uppercut, and then mixes in the takedown. Like him and Bilal are kind of similar in that sense, but I do think he's a lot more exciting than Bilal because he actually has finishes. But I'm just saying, I do think Sean Brady, though, is going to have good moments, great moments. I think he's going to have long periods of time where he holds down Morales, but I do think Morales is going to have moments as well where he gets up. Maybe he has a close submission or something. Like maybe he throws up like a Hail Mary triangle. I don't know. Maybe he has a moment on the feet, where Sean Brady might get a little bit hurt, but then Brady might just take him back down again, and then it's like, oh, that's it. It's going to be one of those, right, where it's like, oh, Morales is back to his feet. High kick for Morales, and then Sean Brady takes him down right away, and it's like, oh, And that's not me saying the fight is going to be boring, like, oh, Morales is going to get momentum and Sean Brady's just going to just cut the momentum and just make the fight boring. I don't think so, because Sean Brady's not a boring type of grappler, but it could be. And I think the best path to victory for Sean is to make it a little bit boring. Sorry. So, I'm sorry for you Sean Brady fans, including myself, but I think the boy's got to make it a bit boring, and I think he kind of can and might against Michael Morales, and probably should if he wants to win. So that's my prediction. I think Sean Brady via a grappling heavy decision, probably a 30-27, maybe a 29-28, where maybe Morales wins like a round off of damage or something. But I think Sean Brady's going to win just via, wrestle fucking a little bit. Valentina Shevchenko, Zhang Weili. All right, these next two fights are generational. This one's tough. I'm not seeing a lot of people for some reason speak on this fight. I get it's a women's fight. I get it, guys. I get it. But all jokes aside, this is probably the best women's fight you could get. Dare I say, one of the best women's fights of all time. I mean, again, this is like a kind of unsung fucking super fight here that people aren't glazing enough. Zhang Weili, Valentina Shevchenko. I'm really trying not to let my bias get in the way here, because I am a Zhang Weili, I'm a massive fan of her, right? I'm a Zhang Weili glazer. My favorite fight of all time is Zhang Weili versus Joanna Nopaychek, the first one. She's one of my all-time favorite fighters. You get it, right? Shevchenko, I don't like Shevchenko. I've always thought she was overrated, and I don't think she's in this current form, I don't think she's a good fighter. I'm gonna say Zhang Weili. Fuck it. I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off. I'm gonna say Zhang Weili. I think a few things benefit Jesus Christ, I can't speak. I think a few things benefit her here. I think striking wise, I just don't think Shevchenko's even. I think Zhang Weili's got the striking advantage, bro. I kind of do. She's got good power. I know she was showing her power against strawweights, but up a weight class, I think she's going to hold her power. I'm not even factoring the lighter man skill thing, but then again, if you saw my main event pick, then I'm definitely not factoring it in there. Spoiler alert, right? But Zhang Weili, she's got good power. She has KO power, but she's not really shown it a lot, so I don't think she's going to KO Shevchenko. But Shevchenko is a little bit hittable. She makes it, what the thing is with Shevchenko too, she makes it way too close with people that she should not be making it close with, whereas Zhang Weili does not make it close with Carla Esparza. She just destroys her. Yang Xiaonan, I think she might have got dropped by her at one point, but come on. Zhang Weili won that fight pretty comfortably. Tatiana Suarez just destroyed. The people you put in front of Zhang Weili, she beats. And she beats dominantly for the most part. She KO'd Joanna in the rematch, right? For example. Valentina Shevchenko, though, it's kind of super close fight with Manon Fiorot. Super close fight with who's the one before that she fought? Oh my God, who did she defend her title? Oh my God, who was it? Was it Erin? It wasn't Erin Blanchfield, right? Oh my gosh, I forget. Grasso? Oh yeah, oh yeah, the Grasso stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah, anyways. So like Grasso, he made it close to Grasso 3 times, 3 times. Well, I mean, she clearly won like the third. I don't give a fuck. I think Zhang Weili is gonna win. She doesn't make it as close to Shevchenko, and I think her wrestling is tremendous in my opinion. Like, she's really improved the wrestling over the last few years. Was out grappling freaking Tatiana Suarez, which I know a lot of people don't rate her highly. I never really did. I thought people overglazed her. But she does have the wrestling credentials, right? Especially for a women's fighter. Like, she's the female Hamza, bro, right? People were saying that, right? But again, I think Zhang Weili is going to out-grapple Shevchenko. Don't get me wrong, Shevchenko can wrestle as well, and she's got some solid grappling fundamentals, but Weili has shown me she has better wrestling. I think she's going to be stronger. I think she's going to surprise people a little bit. I know she's the shorter fighter. I know she's compact, but she's weirdly strong. She's very strong. She's good at stuffing takedowns. She's pretty strong and dominant on the ground, and I think, if Shevchenko does try to wrestle, I think Weili's going to stuff them, or she's going to get back up. She has jiu-jitsu. Again, the striking, I think Shevchenko could maybe give her some problems with the kicks, but I think Weili will do a good job of closing the distance. I'm going to pick Zhang Weili via a relatively close, I'm going to say like a very close decision. I do think this will be a very fun fight, though. I think this will be a very, very fun fight. I'm going to say 3-2 Zhang Weili decision. I'm going to say it's close. I'm going to say maybe people claim robbery. Who knows, right? The 3 Shevchenko fans out there are going to say it's a robbery. I don't know, but I think it's going to be close. I'm kind of thinking, okay, if it's a close decision, are they going to give it to Zhang Weili or are they going to give it to Shevchenko? Let's be honest, right? The UFC, if it's close, they're going to give it to the name that they want to win most of the time. But I mean, I feel like even if we're going to really factor that in, I feel like they would give it to Zhang Weili, right? Because, I mean, she has seemingly permanently moved up to flyweight, unless she decides to go back down, but I think she would destroy Mackenzie Dern. Like, what are we doing here? But that's the thing as well, right? Like, she would destroy Mackenzie Dern. I feel like Shevchenko would have a close, war with Mackenzie Dern, by the way. I'm just saying. But anyways, she seemingly moved up permanently. I think they want to expand in that China market, like always. If it's close, they're going to give it to Zhang Weili. I think it's going to be close, but I don't think it's going to be super, super close. But I am going to pick Zhang Weili via I'm going to say close decision. She mixes in the wrestling. She might get taken down at some points, held down, but I think she'll do a good job of getting up, or maybe even throwing up some submissions. Who knows? I think her striking is going to be good. Yeah, what do you want me to say? I'm not going to go. If you want a more in-depth breakdown, then just become a member. I do a 3-hour breakdown on this fight. Jack Della Maddalena. This is the... So obviously I've spoken on this fight many, many, many times. If you go through my channel, I've done about 4 or 5 different videos on this fight throughout the last few months, obviously. But this is the one. This is the real prediction, the final prediction, right? I'm going to cry. I'm going to betray you guys here. I'm going to go Islam Makhachev. Fuck it. Nah, imagine. Okay, Jack Della Maddalena, Islam Makhachev. Main event, UFC 322. Why am I getting cold feet right now? Why am I getting cold feet? JDM. I'm going JDM. Fuck this shit. I'm going JDM. No, all jokes aside, though, I am going to go Giacomo Della Maddalena. This is a really tough fight. First of all, Islam Makhachev, I got to say, looks bigger than I thought he would. He does look in great shape. I got to say that. Obviously he was going to look in great shape, but I mean, he does look super bulked. Really, really bulked, right? So it's that creatine, guys. Quote unquote creatine. No, but seriously, he looks super bulked. And obviously, are we going to factor in the lighter man's skill? I mean, not for this. It doesn't work with this one, right? No, but I'm not going to factor in for this one. And I'll get to my reasoning why. But he does look very bulked. I don't think it means a whole lot. Because obviously, I expected him to be bulked up. I mean, look, I still think JDM is just more of a natural welterweight than Islam Makhachev. I think he can never make 155, whereas Islam obviously has made 155, right? Barely, though, right? Barely. Always looked like a zombie on the scales. He looked terrible on the scales all the time. But JDM could never make 155 if he tried because his body, his frame is just not built like that. You know what I mean? And I do think Islam Makhachev, up a weight class, his first time ever fighting at 170, 15 pounds, going from fighting at 155, jumping up 15 pounds, now you're fighting at 170. That is a big jump. That is kind of an unforeseen jump up, right? Because we don't see that. Let me know in the comments, but I mean, do we see that often? No. I mean, it's just like the only guy I can think of in recent years is Conor, you know, and even him, like when he fought Nate Diaz, did his shots have the same steam? Even when he fought at 155, did his shots have the same steam? I wouldn't say so, you know, compared to when he was at featherweight, he was destroying people left and right. You know, at 155, didn't really have the same steam. 170 definitely didn't have the same steam. Now, obviously, that's relative to the fighter because Ilia Topuria just flatline KO'd a guy who's never been flatline KO'd at 155, that being Charles Oliveira. So that is relative to the fighter. But Islam Makhachev is a guy who doesn't necessarily have power already. Now you're going up a weight class against a guy who has a granite chin, a guy who's never really been walked. Oh my God, what is this? The Chinese network? Rocked or wobbled is what I meant to say, or stumbled or anything like that. And he's taken some big shots, you know, from Bilal Muhammad and, Bilal, I know, but, you know, just hear me out. Kevin Holland a few times, and that should have not been a split decision, by the way. So he's taken it. I know he's been, by the way, I know you're going to say, well, wait a minute, though. He's been finished before, and, like, so is Islam. Islam's been flatline killed before, so if you want to play that game. I'm not playing that game, but if you want to, we could, right? But my point is, I just feel like that 15-pound difference, right? Islam Makhachev, like I said, this is his first time fighting at 170. If this was his third time fighting at 170, fourth time, even his second time, I'm like, all right, you know what? That first time, though, is just going to be a bit... It's new. It's going to be really new to him. That extra weight in the octagon where he's going to... I could see a world where Islam is just a little bit slower. He's going to be fast, but at the same time, I think he's going to be a little bit slower as well. I don't think he's going to have the movement necessary. Again, if this was his third time at welterweight, I'm like, all right, you know, he's used to the weight cut, or not the weight cut, but he's used to the weight jump, I should say. He's used to this new weight class. He's used to, you know, moving around and this and that. And, you know, the kid's used to this and that, but I don't think that's going to be the case on your first time at 170. I just think he's going to be a bit slower at 170. I think JDM is going to take advantage of that. JDM has good speed for a welterweight. The weight cut is not that bad for JDM. I do think JDM is going to win this one. I'm going to say a round 4 TKO. Now, I'm going to explain how we get there, right? But I'm going to say a round 4 TKO. I'm going to say like an early round 4 TKO against the cage. Body shot, headshot. Islam kind of crumbles. You know, a little bit of ground and pound. Referee steps in. JDM retains. Joe Rogan is shocked. After all the glazing he'll do for the first 4 rounds or 3 rounds, he'll be like, oh, unbelievable. And then he'll just, DC will probably just, dude, I'm going to say this. I'm getting off track, I know, but just bear with me. The commentary is going to be so fucking biased. I just know it, bro. They're going to be so biased. Anything Islam does, oh, nice jab from Makhachev. And dude, that calf kick, man, I'm gonna kill myself. Anyways, JDM Islam, right? Now, I do think it's gonna be a round 4 TKO. Now, I'm gonna explain how we get there. First of all, I think Islam Makhachev, like I said, I think he's gonna be a bit slower than usual. I think in the pocket, I think he's kind of shit in the pocket. Now, he doesn't like to be in the pocket, but sometimes he kind of is forced to be in the pocket. And when he's in the pocket, you know what I mean? I always think of that moment. I know this was like a little bit of a weird sort of exchange, but like that moment against Mcconico where he kind of like threw with his head down. And sometimes he does kind of do that where he throws in weird ways where his like face is away or his head is down. I guess he just doesn't like getting hit, which is obviously like natural, duh. Well, I don't think JDM doesn't give a fuck. JDM's flat nose doesn't give a shit about getting hit. But I think Islam, like all jokes aside, doesn't like getting hit. I think he kind of just has that style where he likes to stay at range, not really get in the pocket. But when he is in the pocket, he looks kind of shit. Like I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I know like he has some moments against Poirier and some really good moments against Poirier, and he stumbled Volkanovski a few times. I'm not saying he's a shit striker overall. Like, listen to me, all right? I'm just saying in the pocket sometimes he looks a bit goofy, and I think JDM can take so much advantage of that. Also, people will say Belal didn't shoot a lot of takedowns. That's just not true. Belal shot about 9 or 10 takedowns, but what JDM did a great job of is constantly, he just didn't allow Belal Muhammad to even get going with the takedown, or even, like, here's the thing. JDM, knees up the middle. JDM, dude, JDM feinted takedowns in his fight against Belal. Like, people don't even talk about that. He was feigning takedowns. He was level changing. He would throw like a 3-piece combination and then level change. Constantly level changing, knees up the middle, uppercuts, feigning uppercuts. This upstairs, this downstairs, rolling with this shot, level change here. He was switched the fuck on, bro. He was super, super just like, he didn't deter away from his game plan at all, which was just keep going, keep pinging keep going, and just keep level changing. And I think he did such a good job at that. And I think Makhachev, though I'm not saying Makhachev can't get him down. I think Makhachev can get him down. I think on the feet, though, I can't necessarily see Makhachev like really piecing up JDM. Maybe I could see like a Makhachev head kick landing like on the guard or something. And maybe like a Makhachev right hand or like an uppercut or something. Or, maybe when they're in the clinch, Makhachev might land some shots and then get the takedown. What I could see is Makhachev trying to back up JDM. I don't think that's a good idea. So if Makhachev doesn't think that's a good idea either, then I could see Makhachev trying to be patient. But if he's trying to be patient, then I could see JDM trying to back up Makhachev. And if that's the case, it's going to fucking end earlier than we think. But again, I think it's going to be a case where it's going to be a bit competitive on the feet. They're going to be trading kicks back and forth. Makhachev may get a takedown. Maybe he'll mix in like a high kick and then go for the double leg. And maybe he'll get JDM's butt on the floor or something. JDM's kind of on his butt. You guys know what I'm saying, right? Like he's got the double leg, but like JDM's butt, but he's kind of like sat up against the cage. You guys can picture what I'm talking about. And then, JDM kind of like works up to his feet, but then Makhachev tries to get the back, and then maybe the round ends or something. Maybe, Makhachev, 1-0 Makhachev, right? I think round 2, Makhachev is going to be a little bit slower, and I think JDM is going to time him a little bit better. I could see JDM landing a little bit more shots in that first round. Maybe an uppercut, maybe a knee up the middle, high kick here, body kick here, a little bit of leg kicks. And I could see Makhachev going for the wrestling again, but JDM either stuffs it or gets right back up this time. And then maybe we go to round 3. Same thing, but now Makhachev is even slower. Makhachev tries to go for the wrestling this time, stuffs it. JDM's going to stuff it. And I think JDM's going to start piecing him up. And I think Makhachev, it's going to start looking bad, bro. I think he's going to start bleeding a bit. I think there's going to be blood coming down his forehead or something. Maybe that Dustin Poirier freaking cut gets reopened. Maybe he's against the cage, but then maybe he goes for the clinch and he's holding JDM against the clinch and he's kind of holding on for dear life, right, quote unquote. And, maybe then the round ends. And then round 4, I could see early round 4. Maybe it's just the coaches yell at him to do it, or JDM just does it off of whatever. JDM's going to finish him. I think JDM is going to just go right at him. Just, all right, you know what? I had him kind of hurt in that last round. Round 4, let's go. I could see him piecing up Makhachev really bad early round 4. Just boom, 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 up against the cage, just going right at him. And I could see Makhachev kind of breaking a little bit. And I could see Makhachev kind of crumbling against the cage. Body head from JDM. Knee up the middle, cracks Makhachev. Left hook, right hand up top. Makhachev maybe shoots for a takedown. Maybe JDM stuffs it. You know what? Maybe it could be like an Ankalaev Pereira type of fucking finish. I love that finish so much. It makes me laugh. Maybe it could be like a Ankalaev Pereira type finish where he's like, he stuffs the takedown, gets on top, ground and pound shots, maybe even some elbows. Makhachev, he's really bloodied up. Mark Goddard, Herb Dean, whoever the fuck steps in. JDM, TKOs Islam Makhachev, round 4. That's my prediction. It took, oh my God, I have to burp. Wait. Sorry. Anyways, it took us a while to get there. I was really trying to, with this fight, I really want to like stretch. Oh my God, this sounds, I was going to say, I want to stretch my thoughts, okay? Not stretch any. I want to stretch my thoughts out with this fight because this fight is a fight that I'm like really, really, really amped up for. So that's why I kind of just spent so long talking about this fight. So we've been here for a while. So if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, share, sub. Let me know your predictions down below. This is a tremendous, tremendous card. Legitimately, it has potential to be the greatest card in UFC history. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. We will probably be streaming it. We definitely will be streaming it as well. So if you guys are into watching my live reactions or just stuff like that, I will be streaming it. Like, comment, share, sub. Become a member down below. See you guys. Peace. And let me know your predictions as well. If you're not picking JDM, what are you doing, kid? Anyway, see you guys. Peace. Why did I do that? Why I say peace and then a thumbs up? Peace. There you go. All right. That look. Oh my God. What was that? Like, that's gay. Anyway, goodbye.